Over the last few hundred years, we've managed to uncover some incredible things. These artifacts often leave us with more questions than answers, and have led some theorists to offer up different explanations for what they could be. Japanese samurai swords are recognizable swords. They would have been used by the best warriors of the time and acted like a status of that individual. One of the issues though is when the warriors would first use these swords, they were prone to break. Although they were sharp, they didn't do well when force was applied to a strike, meaning it would slow a warrior down and even put them in potential trouble. This seemed to be a common problem all around the globe, as archaeologists and researchers have discovered swords from many locations that suffered from the same problem. Getting a sword that was sharp and able to slice didn't seem to be a problem. However, when the individual would use the object in a forceful way, it would usually snap. Ancient Japanese craftsmen figured out the key was to focus on the cooling part of the process. Not only did it take years to perfect using the weapon, but those who were able to wield it were looked up as great warriors. There's one samurai sword, however, that's caught the attention of people over the years. When first looking at the photograph, you might think that it's actually photoshopped. However, this isn't the case. The sword is very much real and is kept at the Kibusu Shrine. The giant sword has attracted visitors from all over the world. However, the question that many ask is who would have been able to wield such a sword? Was it built for giants, or is the object just a novelty item? The sword has the name Normitsu or Dashi, and some legends state it was wielded by a great warrior who lived during ancient times. It measures over 3.8 meters or 12.4 feet, and legend says that only a great warrior could wield the weapon. After uncovering the sword, the researchers said it's most likely the largest that's ever been discovered on Japanese soil. The next task for the team was to clean the item up. They had to hang it from a ceiling and start to polish every part of the object, being careful not to damage this once-in-a-lifetime discovery. One question that many have asked is how was a sword of such length created in ancient times? The researchers said this would have been a very difficult task, and one they can't understand why it was undertaken in the first place. Whoever created this great sword was committed to creating something impressive, and the researchers said that whoever ended up creating it most likely failed many times in the process. Due to the size of it, the creator would have needed a large heat source in order to get the process started. In the end, this would have been expensive. However, the creator was determined and managed to create the ultimate weapon. The next question is who used this sword? No man would have been able to wield this, so why go through all the trouble of creating such an object? There's a few reasons why the creator may have wanted to do this. The first theory, which isn't believed by mainstream scientists, is that the sword was used by a giant. The legend goes that a giant man demanded the most impressive weapon of their time, and so a craftsman got to work to build the perfect sword for the warrior. The second theory is that the master craftsman wanted to build this artifact to show off their skills. These swords would have been created by those who had a lot of patience. These were masters of their field, and researchers have suggested this was their way of showing off their skills. Another theory is that the craftsman created this in order to impress potential customers. If their customers could see what they were capable of, they were more likely to drum up potential business. Regardless of the history of the object, one thing that many can agree on is how impressive the sword is. Even in the modern day, people are still in awe of the ancient object, and wonder how such an individual was able to construct such an item during that era. Archaeologists have discovered some incredible structures over the years. Not only are they impressive to look at, but they've also made us question who could have built them. This comes down to the fact that some of these are so massive it's hard to understand how humans could construct them. Some of the most well-known ones include that of the Great Pyramids of Giza, the Easter Island Heads and Stonehenge. However, other sites such as the fortifications of Mycenae and the Aztec pyramids don't get as much attention. These are just as impressive when you look at how they were created, and how ancient people were able to move the impressive sized stones. For example, it's believed the walls of the fortifications of Mycenae were created 3,500 years ago, and this was during the Late Bronze Age period, which seems baffling given the fact the walls were completed without delay or technological limitation. This is despite the human civilization not having made advancements in metals that could have been used for tools in the construction of the walls, or the placement of the large stones. In fact, the blocks are so massive that even modern day cranes and technology could not place the stones with the accuracy required to build the wall, and maintain the stability of the structure without the use of mortar of any kind. This begs the question then, how did the people at this time move these giant structures? It's been estimated that some of the stones here weigh over 100 tons. Not only this, but the stones are an awkward shape, meaning it would be near impossible for the people at the time to move them. Another site that's said to be shrouded in mystery is that of the Mesoamerican pyramids of Teotihuacan. Archaeologists have found that at the centre of every major city and establishment by the ancient culture, there stood a large pyramid to act as a sort of heart of the city's design. This has led many researchers to believe the pyramids held a major religious and spiritual significance that the city was built around, rather than that of the pyramid being built into an already pre-existing city. Additionally, the large amount of importance that the ancient Mesoamerican civilization had for that of human rituals to their god of war and god of the sun, many researchers believe that the temple could have been used as a place of these rituals to be performed. The Pyramid of the Sun is believed to be the site of a number of these rituals that were conducted by the Aztecs to ensure that the safety of humanity was guaranteed by their gods. In fact, they believed that in the event the ritual was not completed, their god of war and sun would immediately seek out a solution and block the sun from the sky, completely casting the world into darkness and preventing life from continuing. To combat this, the Aztecs were believed to perform rituals at this massive pyramid to appease their gods and guarantee a new year. Additionally, in ancient Aztec mythologies, it's believed and claimed that the pyramids acted similar to that of a connection to their ancient gods. The Aztecs wrote many different accounts in their mythologies of their gods descending from the sky and landing on the pyramids that had been constructed in order to engage in conversation with the ancient Aztec people, provide gifts, or use the pyramid as a way of maintaining this contact in the future. This has led many ancient theorists to believe that the pyramids were that of an ancient landing site that alien life could descend upon. Given the fact that Aztec mythologies talk about giving golds or other gifts to their gods, they believe this could very well be the case, and act as a sort of refueling station for those of an extraterrestrial nature. Still today there is no consensus as to the role of the pyramids, and why they are usually constructed as the centerpiece of cities and construction, though there is believed to be a connection with the structure and that of the ancient gods worshipped by the Aztec civilization. Interestingly, researchers in the area have discovered that underneath the ground there appears to be even more constructions and mysteries to uncover. Located below the massive Aztec pyramid known as the Temple of the Sun, there appears to be an intricate detail of underground passages and areas one could enter. Oddly enough, the existence of the tunnels was not discovered until a large sinkhole had opened up, allowing researchers to look inside the massive tunnel system and discover artificial and man-made passageways. At the time of the opening, the lead researchers in the region then quickly covered up the sinkhole using tents as to prevent any tourists from going inside. They then began dropping things into the tunnels and noticed that the sinkholes went down quite a way. After petitioning the government to get permission to enter into the opened up site, they discovered the area opened up into man-made tunnels winding all around the area. Although there is yet to turn up any further study and research on the matter of these tunnels located underneath the large pyramid structure, it's believed these tunnels can stretch on for miles while simultaneously holding a large amount of water beneath that of the large pyramid structures, without compromising the stability of the area. Many have pointed to these tunnels as being used as passageways for priests of their time, though nothing conclusive has been found as supporting evidence of this theory. Additionally, the pyramids in the region, the Pyramids of the Sun and Moon, along with a smaller pyramid structure nearby, mark the exact coordinates of 3 stars that make up Orion's belt on the Orion constellation. This helps to demonstrate their connection with the celestial bodies in the sky, the stars and their religious significance. So my question to you guys is, what do you make of these ancient artifacts? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.